What's up, Volunteer Roadshow? What's going on? Vol fans, SEC fans, college football fans. What's up? It's Matt Downs coming to you from Vol Sports Network and the Tennessee Checkerboard on Facebook. So go check us out on those pages. Now, a couple of information to pass along. I talked to you guys last week about recruiting. Not going to go too much in depth on that. Go check out the video that I made. It's on YouTube and on Facebook on Volunteer Roadshow, so go check that out. Friday, news broke that Coach Terry Fair is no longer a part of the staff at Tennessee. Coach Fair played at Tennessee from 1994 to 1997, and he was let go by Coach Pruitt. There's some information that I've gotten from some sources saying, Coach Pruitt and Coach Fair didn't really work well together. There's some about recruiting and stuff like that, and we really just don't know. It was just made an announcement that he was let go. Once I get more detailed information about it, I will let you guys know. I'll talk about once I get everything squared away with sources, make sure they're correct. I'll announce the reason why Coach Fair was let go. He was even offered an off the field role, but he decided not to have that. So Coach Pruitt went ahead, let Coach Fair go, made a huge announcement about an hour afterwards that Derrick Ansley is the new cornersback and safeties coach at Tennessee. So Derrick Ansley, a little bit about him. He's been at Georgia, been at Bama, been at Kentucky, been at Tennessee. He was at Tennessee in 2012 when Dooley was there. And this past season was with the Oakland Raiders. So he knows football. He's been around. He knows Coach Pruitt. They worked together at Alabama in 2017. And I do believe in 2016 as well. So Coach Pruitt got somebody he knows that knows how to coach. Not saying Coach Fair didn't know how to coach, but Coach Pruitt got another home run hire to go along with the Chaney hire and the T. Martin hire to wrap up this staff to be an all-star staff, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of great coaches on this staff. Brian Niedermeyer, the tight ends coach for Tennessee, is ranked the #1 recruiter in the nation. So that goes to show when you got a guy that's on your staff that's #1 in the nation, and then you got other good recruiters. Somebody like T. Martin, who's won National Recruiter of the Year before, that really does help build your roster, helps with your staff, and all that type of good, fun stuff. So, in Tennessee, Catfish wants me to kind of talk a little bit about, some of the coaches. And I want to talk about Coach Friend for a minute. Coach Friend last year, a lot of us Vol fans got on to the offensive line because the way the offensive line played. Granted, the offensive line didn't play that well last year. They played good at times, but not great. But when you get 5 new offensive linemen and 2 of them are 5 stars, 2 4-stars, and a 3-star, that's a potential 4-star. I really do think they can help out this offensive line this year. And really with the Coach Chaney coming out and saying he wants to be physical, that can help as well, in the run game. And hopefully, he and Coach Friend could be able to find blocking schemes that are easy and simple. They look complicated, but they're simple. Any of you ever played offensive line? I played it. I coached it. I coached high school ball for 4 years, and I coached the offensive line and tight ends. And I know that's why every offensive line coach wants is you to be physical, #1. That's what Coach Friend's mentality is. I've interviewed a couple of Vol players up there right now, and they love Coach Friend. They love the way he coaches. He's a teacher. He will get on to you when you're needed, but he will also make sure you are developed well enough to do what you do best. And whether that's either you're the best at pass blocking, run blocking, whatever you do, Coach Friend, honestly, in my opinion, really is going to benefit from this new 5 guys we've got coming in this year to help add some beef to the offensive line, because every offensive lineman we signed is over 300 pounds. Not no more 275, 290 like Bush Jones used to have. We got beef up front. So you give some beef up front to Coach Friend, let him work with what he's got, and he will give us a solidified offensive line in my book for 2019 and beyond. Of course, we can talk about football all year round. But I just kind of want to mention that a little bit. I'll talk more and more about what to look for in the offensive line, the offense, defense, when spring practice rolls around on March 7th. And the spring game was announced for April 13th, 6 p.m. in Knoxville at Neyland Stadium. I'm going to be there. The staff, myself from Vols Sports Network, Tennessee Checkerboard will be there. Hopefully Catfish could be there as well. Love to get to meet some of you guys and talk to you guys about some Tennessee stuff that weekend. So, other stuff going on in Knoxville this past weekend. Vols beat the Gators. 3 wins in a row over Florida basketball. I love it. Tennessee's still number 1 in the nation. A big game Saturday night at Kentucky. But Wednesday night we take on South Carolina in Thompson-Boling Arena. South Carolina's a good, scrappy basketball team. They gave a fight to Tennessee in the first half and the first 10 minutes or so of the second half. We played them a couple of weeks ago. So I think Tennessee's also got another challenge on their hands this week. Can't look too far ahead to Kentucky. I know us Vol fans are looking forward to that. 2 top 5 teams, the first time since 2003. So that 2 SEC teams have met, and they're both in the top 5 this week. So we'll talk about that later on. I know Catfish will as well. Softball starting off 5-0 in the season. They started this past weekend playing in Myrtle Beach. Won all 5 games in the tournament down there. Kudos to the Lady Softballs. And they play Notre Dame on Friday. I'll be covering that. Baseball starts on Friday. I'm excited about it. I cover baseball for my home pages, and I'll do some stuff here on Volunteer Roadshow for softball and baseball as well. I'll do a preview on that this week, and I'll let you guys know when it's posted. A couple other things also going on. Lady Vols lost to Mississippi State. Lady Vols won 3 in a row, and then we lose to Mississippi State. Now, losing by 30-something points, the biggest loss in the Tennessee-Mississippi State matchup and throughout history. I don't know what to do about Holly Warlick, guys. I really don't know what to say about Holly Warlick anymore. She went 0-7 when SEC play started. Could have really went 5-2 or 6-1 and then lose. They were playing Notre Dame a while back. Had them, beating them at halftime. They get drummed in the second half. They played 3 teams. 3 out of the last 4 teams they played have been nobodies. They did pretty well. And then they get destroyed by Mississippi State. I don't know what needs to happen. Coach Fulmer, what do you do? What do you do if you're Coach Fulmer? Do you fire Holly Warlick, or do you just say, look, Holly, I need you to improve because next year I got to get rid of you if things don't go right. So Coach Fulmer's got to definitely look at that right there. I know friendships that they have, but you've got to look at it from what have you done for me lately kind of thing. But we'll see how that goes for Lady Vols. They're struggling right now in women's basketball. So we'll see how they do in the next couple of weeks before March play starts. Before you know it, March play is going to be here for SEC tournament. So we'll see how that goes. So check out the video. And I enjoy doing this for you guys. I want to do a video once a week for you guys here. And also, guys, as always, GBO, and we're going to beat Kentucky Saturday night. I guarantee you that. See y'all later.